Good day, learners. Welcome once again to Jokchem.Edutech resources, where you get better understanding of chemistry. Today, we shall be looking at salt analysis for NECO preparation for this 2026 exam. So I'll be guiding you on step-by-step ways, step-by-step the guide, whatever you need to just follow so that you get excellence in salt analysis part of the practical for NECO this year. So please just listen and watch as I do it, and look at me as I do it. So look at the preparatory question for you for this NECO 2026 exam. I said C is an inorganic salt. Carry out the following exercises on C. Inorganic salts are the salts that are not organic. Organic is always natural substances. Organic substances are natural substances. So these ones are inorganic, something like sodium chloride, sodium tricarbonate 4. We have maybe copper tetrasulfate 4, copper chloride. We have zinc chloride, zinc tetrasulfate 4, or zinc tricarbonate 4. Those are the salts that we call inorganic salts in chemistry lesson or chemistry class. So those salts, we shall be looking at one salt today. Most of the salts we do or we analyze in at O-level chemistry, we have just few salts that we are the area of that we use, that we have chosen as a area of concentration. Area of concentration. So we have we can analyze copper salts, we can analyze iron 2 salts, we can analyze iron 3 salts, we can analyze aluminium salts, lead salts, and zinc salt. I mentioned the zinc before. Of course, calcium salts also inclusive. We don't do sodium salts. You know why? It's highly reactive. Things about sodium unless it's in compound form. So we have finished analysis once I've mentioned calcium, lead, aluminium, zinc, iron 2 and iron 3. So now today we shall be looking at, I want one of C. I want it to be copper salt. You see, what are the chemical tests we need to carry out on it? So those salts that I've mentioned, we have cation part, we have anion part. The metallic parts of those salts are the cations. If I say copper 2 tetrasulfate 6 now, it means the copper part is metal. So the Cu2 plus is our cation. Then that's SO4, that is radical, that is our anion. So all salts, they are made up of cations and anions. And that is what we are doing. In inorganic chemistry, I've always told you not to calculate this salt analysis. You just want to know what examiner has given you. Because all of them have specific way they behave. They have specific analysis we need to do on them. We have specific tests for them. So they are not just salts, because if you are in industry, if you want to prepare copper 2 tetrasulfate 6 now, there are some chemical tests, chemical analysis you need that will make you to know that, oh, it's copper I'm preparing. Oh, if it's another thing, maybe aluminium, oh, it's aluminium I'm preparing, before we can find them to be useful in everyday activities. There are various uses, and that's why we even chose them as what we are analyzing, because we use them majorly in life. So today I want us to focus on those salts. So I want to be specific this time around. I want us to determine something that has to do with copper. And again, in inorganic analysis, in salt analysis, there are two main reagents we normally use to identify those salts. Especially their cation parts. You understand? The cation part that you want to analyze you have to use two major reagents. The two major reagents are, the first one is ammonia solution. We call it aqueous ammonia because we have put water, we have added water, it's now aqueous. The second one is sodium hydroxide solution. The sodium hydroxide solution too is also aqueous. So anytime you are recording your things, whatever they ask you to put, always make sure that you put aqueous, because it's not like sodium hydroxide that is in solid form. You now put it in water, it becomes aqueous. It's no more solid form. So if you are writing things, you must know the meaning of aqueous. You must know that solid is different from aqueous, and aqueous is different from liquid. Liquid is just normal water, that is not that we put anything. But once you take solid sample and you add water, it becomes aqueous solution. So we have two normal chemical reagents for identification of cations like aluminium ion, zinc ion, lead ion, copper 2 ion, and iron 2 or iron 3. Anyone or calcium ion. So the two reagents are, again, I'm repeating it, they are sodium hydroxide solution and ammonia solution. We can still call it aqueous ammonia or aqueous sodium hydroxide. So today now, I can now go back to what I drafted for the preparative class for NECO 2026 exam. Now I said C is an inorganic salt. Carry out the following exercises on C. The first question says, add about 10 cm of distilled water to divide C. You see, if they have given you C, any sample, whether they call it D, C, whatever they call it is what you will put when you are recording your observation and your inference or whatever. So now you can choose to write the appearance first, because they would have tabulated things like this, and if it's not tabulated, you have to tabulate it yourself. Now the appearance of C is first thing you first of all write. You say appearance of C. Appearance of C. If it's white, you put. If it's blue, you put. If it's green, you put it. If it is any color, you put it. I want to say my appearance this afternoon is blue. You understand? You look at what is given to you, if the appearance is blue or if the appearance is white. So my salt that I want this afternoon is this day is C. It will be blue color. Put appearance into behind you more mark, because we are working towards excellence. As you are just in learning with us, you are going to get excellence in chemistry. Just keep on C. So the first one says, you see, you have to do your tabulation. You tabulate it. You have dot analysis or inorganic chemistry. You have test, observation, inference. C plus 10 cm cube of water, as I have said here. You have to write what you observe. What you are observing here is either whether it is soluble or insoluble. To write your inference. Now, my salt this afternoon is soluble, or this morning, anytime you are watching it. So I will say insoluble salt is present. You see? That is my inference. Now the second question now, and you should try as much as possible. If it is A they put or B, you name it accordingly, so that step by step way of animal, you get your full score and your A is very sure. So we have the second one says to divide the solution made from C into 3 portions. You see? So you have taken your test tubes, you have made solution of C, you now pour it into 3 test tubes. So to the first portion, what are you going to do? So the first portion of solution made from C plus NaOH, sodium hydroxide, aqueous in drops. So what will happen? If it dissolves, you let us know. If it stays, you let us know. In this one now, we have insoluble, or we say blue, insoluble blue precipitate. Insoluble blue precipitate. Because what I'm dealing with, I want my C to be copper. I just want it to be copper. I'm testing for copper 2 ions. So insoluble blue precipitate. If you have insoluble blue precipitate, it's only copper salt that is blue. Aluminium, lead, zinc, and calcium, they are white salts. Iron 2 is green, iron 3 is brown. So I will not say copper 2 ion is present, because it's only blue salt. Anytime you see blue salt, it's copper 2 that is present. Then when I now put it in, I've make mistake in this. We cut down to work this. I want to take 3 seconds and go. Will you be able to do that?
Yes.
Now, the second one now. I'm just finishing it up. So the first portion of solution made from C plus NaOH will drops, then excess. In drops, what you need to observe is whether there is precipitate or whether there is clear solution. Now, what we will get, it will now be blue, light blue precipitate. Light blue precipitate. Precipitate is because it is not solid. Set me down, you see some particles. Precipitate. Anywhere you see anything with bluish color, it's copper 2 that is present. Aluminium, calcium, zinc, and lead, they are white salts. Then iron 2 is green, iron 3 is brown. So now we're saying what? Cu2 plus is present. And this is Cu2 plus present. Because I observed the yellow coloration in what I'm doing. Again, the second portion now, down to the sodium hydroxide in excess. Sodium hydroxide in excess. What you need anytime you put excess of sodium hydroxide is a precipitate. Is still there. Is it still there, or it has dissolved, or it is now soluble? So now insoluble. It will be insoluble. Insoluble. Or you say the precipitate did not dissolve. So we now still say what? The Cu2 plus. Cu2 plus is present. It's confirmatory test, but you may not still confirm Cu2 plus at this stage. The question went further to ask you to do all these exercises. Now the second portion of solution C plus aqueous ammonia. This aqueous ammonia I've told you is the ammonia that we have added water, So it's an ammonia solution. Then in drops, you still have light blue precipitate. Light blue precipitate. Don't shorten your precipitate. Always write it in full. When you have light blue precipitate, you see Cu2 plus that is present. And what you need to see do, you will still add in excess. What you are looking for is, if it is copper, there must be specific observation that you are going to get. This one now will now be soluble and will now give you deep blue color. Then copper 2 is present or confirmed. So this one now you now have in excess. You now say precipitate dissolves. Precipitate dissolves to give what? To give deep blue color. To give or produce blue color. The precipitate dissolves to give deep blue. Deep, it will be darkened. Deep blue color. Your is copper, guys.